Good morning. It is time for Selection Saturday for Kentucky Derby 2022. We're going to go over some of the final selections on the undercard, take a look at the Kentucky Derby, and of course, yesterday on Friday, we had the Kentucky Oaks, an impressive victory by Secret Oath. Today, Kentucky Derby, one of 14 races at Churchill Downs. Remember, if you have any last-minute questions or comments, make sure to put them in the notes, but let's take a look overall at the Kentucky Derby 2022. We're going to quick go over every one of the horses, kind of a quick rundown of their chances for this race. Starting off with Mo Donegal. He is going to be a closer. He won the Wood Memorial the last time. He's trained by Todd Pletcher, who has won 2 Kentucky Derbies. Happy Jack is trained by another trainer who has won 2 Kentucky Derbies, Doug O'Neill. He won with Nyquist. And he also picked up another Kentucky Derby winner. He's got a long shot this time around. Happy Jack going to be coming from off the pace if he is able to bring his run. Now, Epicenter most likely going to be favored, slightly favored in the Oaks Derby doubles, slightly favored on the tote board over Taba. Meanwhile, Summers Tomorrow's a long shot, ran second the last time around in Dubai. Smile Happy, one of 2 horses for trainer Ken McPeak. Smile Happy ran second in the Bluegrass Stakes, a key prep in Lexington, Kentucky. Before that, he ran second in the Risen Star to Epicenter, and Smile Happy won 2 races as a 2-year-old. Messier going to run 8-1 morning line odds, going off at 7-1 as we start the day on a Saturday. Messier by Empire Maker, who ran second in the Kentucky Derby. Crown Pride, bred in Japan. He is going to try to make it the first UAE Derby to win the Kentucky Derby. Charge It for trainer Todd Pletcher. That's his second runner in the race. He's got 3. Charge It, a lightly raced son of Tappet. Of course, Tappet has sired 4 Belmont Stakes winners. Zandon out of the 10-post position, right in the middle. There's only 1 starting gate this year. They changed that a couple of years ago. Trainer Chad Brown looking for his first Kentucky Derby winner. He's 8-1 in early betting off a 3-1 morning line. Pioneer of Medina, the 3rd Kentucky Derby winner, looking to be the 3rd Kentucky Derby winner for trainer Todd Pletcher. Taba, 12-1 on the morning line, bet down to 5-1, and he's going to try to pick up the victory. Of course, won the Santa Anita Derby the last time. Simplification, going the Florida route. Antonio Sono, he ran Guinevere in the Kentucky Derby. Tammy Bobo, looking for a Kentucky Derby winner. Barber Road ran at Oaklawn Park in the spring, ran in the Rebel Stakes, ran in the Arkansas Derby. White Abario, a 2-time stakes winner, the Holy Bull. He also won the Florida Derby. He's got 4 wins at Gulfstream Park. Cyberknife, the Arkansas Derby winner. Classic Causeway, he is a 2-time stakes winner, won the Sam F. Davis at Tampa Bay. He won the Tampa Bay Derby, ran a kind of a questionable race in the Florida Derby, been training well. He should show some speed in the Kentucky Derby. Tawny Port, 1 of 3 for Brad Cox. Of course, Zozos, another one for Brad Cox. He's 20-1 in the morning line, going off at 40-1 in the early betting. And Ethro Road has been scratched. Substitute horse for him is now in the race. We'll take a look at that in a minute. Rich Pride. But that is a look at your Kentucky Derby for 2022. Kentucky Derby 148. Got a listener. They're still picking Zandon. They like the way he's been training. Have to agree with that. Zandon had a couple of nice workouts post Bluegrass victory. And of course, a lot of people just like the energy he's been showing. That's a big factor. I do think Charge has been showing good energy in the morning. And of course, here's the odds after the first day of betting. We've got Epicenter at 5-1, Taba at 5-1, Messier at 7-1, Zandon at 8-1, and Mo Donegal at 9-1. Now, the horse that's been bet down the most from the morning line was Taba, and that was to be expected. Your 2 fastest horses on the Beyer scale are Taba, who picked up a 103 Brisnet speed Beyer speed figure in his debut, and then a 102 his last time, and then Messier. So those are 2 of the top 5 favorites. Beyer speed figures historically have had a big impact on the Kentucky Derby. And we got a question from a viewer this morning. I'm sort of thinking of adding Charge It to my A's. Talk me out of it. Well, I really can't talk you out of it. One of the things I will mention is that Charge It. One of the things I like to look at, maybe not so much the workouts, but just the energy. A couple of years ago, Always Dreaming definitely had the most energy training up to the Kentucky Derby. Charge It, very robust, energetic workouts in his gallops. There was a good clip of him yesterday. Just really seems to be thriving. I'd say he's put on a little bit of weight since the Florida Derby clock end farm. So I would say, there's going to be $150 million wagered on Kentucky Derby Day. There was a record handle 78 million bet yesterday on the Oaks card. So there's some money out there. So I would say definitely put one or two horses that can make a little bit of a score for you as your A's, because those are the type of horses that can separate a normal day pick four versus a big pick four on a day like the Kentucky Derby. So it looks like Epicenter or Taba most likely going to be favorite. And remember from experience, the odds really do not change much from Saturday morning until race time. Basically, there's just so much money in the pool. The odds don't really change. There's going to be roughly 110, 115,000 people at the Kentucky Derby, people betting all around the country and the world now. So I would say those odds are pretty much locked in, give or take a point or two on the odds board. Now we've got a couple of curses to overcome this year. Of course, the Curse of Apollo, that is broken by Justify, but I still think it's relative. Basically, a horse who did not start as a 2-year-old. Can they win the Kentucky Derby? Of course, 1 for 67 lifetime, and only Justify has been able to do that. Charge It, Taba, Zozos, and Happy Jack did not run as a 2-year-old. So they are going to be fighting the Curse of Apollo. Can they overcome the Curse of Apollo to win the Kentucky Derby? We'll see what happens on that one. The second curse we've got to overcome is the Curse of Leonatus, the horse to win the Derby in their third career start. It hasn't happened since 1883. Taba has only ran twice in his career. He's got a 102 Beyer speed figure, a 103 Beyer speed figure, and Taba trying to win the Kentucky Derby in his third lifetime start. Now, granted, not as many horses have tried to win the Kentucky Derby with only 2 lifetime races. Basically, that means you got to go straight from a maiden race into a stakes race the way the new point system is set up. And I'm just not so sure too many horses are going to even attempt that. So historically, we've got some norms to get go by here. Now on the speed figures scale, want to pull this up for those of you handicapping the last couple of days here. Again, the top Beyer speed figure is Messier and Taba. Epicenter right there with a 102, and then Zandon with a 98 in his bluegrass. Now Brisnet has it a 111 for Taba and a 111 for Mo Donegal. So the Wood Memorial was a fast speed figure. He came home in under 36 seconds, visually looked good. He had Joel Rosario on him that day, Mo Donegal did. And Mo Donegal now goes back to Irad Ortiz, who is one of the top riders for Todd Pletcher. And then Timeform sees it as Messier, his Robert Lewis Stakes, definitely one of the faster speed figures of the year for Timeform. And then also Zozos with a big speed figure. That was at Oaklawn Park in his 10-length victory. Zozos a 98 as well in that race. Of course, Cyberknife with one of the slower Beyer speed figures. They only gave him a 92 for his victory in the Arkansas Derby. So that's a look at your speed figures. And overall, again, Messier and Taba on the Beyer, Brisnet going with Taba and Mo Donegal, Timeform going with Messier and Taba, although they've been pretty consistent with Epicenter. That's one of the big knocks on Epicenter. He kind of has to jump up a little bit. He's been pretty steady. If he runs his race, you kind of know what you're going to get out of him, and we'll see if that is good enough here as well. Now, when you take a look at just the top contenders, this kind of narrows it down, gives you a little bit honed in on some of the top contenders of the speed figures. Again, Zandon, what I like about him is he kind of bumped it up after a couple of pairs the last time. So many of these horses are lightly raced, and that's going to be the key. Most likely one of them will probably run a new career top. And in recent years, it seems like you do have a potential of a horse running a new higher lifetime Brisnet speed figure in the Kentucky Derby. Messier did get his big speed figure on a day that Adari Manor got a big speed figure. They both came back to lose. They both won by several lengths. A lot of people think that that was a very biased racetrack. And overall, maybe you got to discount that speed figure a little bit. Zandon and Mo Donegal. Aqueduct was playing slow all winter, and then Wood Memorial Day, it speeded up very fast and got faster throughout the card. There was a couple of big performances in the later portion of the card, so Bayer split out a variant. They said the track got faster and kind of adjusted Mo Donegal's speed figure. And then White Abario, he's just kind of sitting there with a 97, but with back-to-back wins in the Holy Bull. He missed a workout leading up to the Holy Bull. He missed a workout leading up to the Florida Derby. There's definitely some room for White Abario to improve in this spot. So we got a viewer saying I'm using 7 runners in the last leg of the mandatory payout pick 6. Good luck to everybody. Yes, good luck to R. Stefani. It's going to be a fun day of betting. That is another one of my strategies here. Derby is a little bit different. You get a 20 horse field, you get $150 million in the pools. There's $3 minimum pick threes. That's a new bet this year with the Pat Day Mile, the turf race, and the Kentucky Derby. You've got $1 superfecta options. You've got all dirt options. Give yourself a chance to try to make a score on the Kentucky Derby. It's one of the few times this year. So throw in a couple of those 12-to-1s, throw in a horse like Messier, a 7-to-1, throw in a Tiz the Bomb. That's my long shot. My top selection is Mo Donegal. In case you're tuning in and haven't watched the Kentucky Derby preview, I do got a preview up on the pace of the race, projected odds, projected pace, Kentucky Derby preview. Look for that on my channel. Late pace. Some people like to look at the late pace figures from Brisnet. Give you a look at some of the runners that are going to be running late in this race. Mo Donegal with a 121, which is one of the highest pace ratings I've seen. Zandon with a 114. And then you've got a horse like Taba, Rich Strike, who did make the race. He had a 107. Epicenter with a 106. Epicenter isn't one of those horses that's going to knock you out, but he does seem to be there on all of the speed figures. He's never at the top. So that tells me, he's going to run his race and somebody else is probably going to have to step up to beat a horse like Epicenter. Now, another viewer says, doesn't have enough dollars to play the horizontals. It's going to have to be Kentucky Derby verticals for me this year. So yes, I'm going to go over some ticket structure here in just a moment. So speed figure wise, again, Epicenter, Joel Rosario, who we won the Kentucky Derby with Orb, riding well. Thought he put a nice ride yesterday with Pauline's Pearl to get the money in the grade 1 La Troyenne. And then also, I think he got everything out of Echo Zulu. She put on a pretty good run before fading late, but she didn't fade until that 16th post. She had to handle other speed. And Joel Rosario, when he's riding well, he's going to give you a chance. He's going to put you in the right spot. He's ridden well in the Kentucky Derby overall. All right, let's take a look at some selections for the Pat Day Mile. I'm looking at my top pick is Jack Christopher. This is race number 7 on the card, making his first start of 2022. Trainer Chad Brown has taken his time with him. I'm going to play him straight up in Exactas over Major General and Papa Cap. Jack Christopher most likely going to be favored, probably 7-5. Wesley says my best bet on the undercard, that is going to be Jack Christopher. I think he's the most likely winner on the day, on the whole card. I just think they've been taking their time. Workouts have been strong. Visually, they showed him schooling in the paddock the last couple of days. I think Jack Christopher is going to be my top selection under all the undercard races. He could be the type of horse you maybe want to key in a pick 4 or pick 5. And then I'm going to play straight Exactas over Major General and Papa Cap. Woodford Reserve, my AB system, I'm going to go with Ivar as my top selection. He hasn't won in a while. He did win at Keeneland last year. Of course, he's been running sporadically. They've been running him in the spring and then in the Breeders' Cup, and then he's coming off a long layoff. But when he uncorks his kick, I think 1 1/8 is right up his alley. At Hamo and Santine are going to be my backups on my Bs. And basically, overall, that's kind of my ABC strategy there. And we've got a question from Siggy Mendoza. Cyberknife looked with a lot of energy in the mornings at Churchill. So yes, he's 15-1 on the early betting. Cyberknife definitely has a shot in this race. Matthew McCool says he's going to go with Tabia. Tabia, of course, 5-1 on the board. And, a lot of different ways you can go. As you look at your ABC tickets, make sure to put your horses, make sure to include a couple of B horses that are kind of a price and that other people won't have. That's your best chance of getting a bigger score on Kentucky Derby Day. So the race right before the Kentucky Derby, maybe you want to play some doubles Ivar going into your top selection. My top selection is Mo Donegal, but that could be Tabia, or could also be Epicenter, or maybe a horse like Messier if you think he can come. I think Messier is going to come off the pace. My two predictions, I think that's a little bit different than everybody else on the pace. I think Messier is going to come a little bit off the pace, and I think Simplification is going to be closer to the pace, maybe kind of getting some pace in there. Summer is tomorrow. I'm not so sure he has the raw speed. And of course, Epicenter broke inside the other speed, so I think he is going to be up on the pace as well. Let's take a look at some Kentucky Derby exactas. Of course, my top pick is going to be Mo Donegal. If you have a different top pick, just play him on some of these exactas. I'm going to go him over Zandon, White Abarrio, Smile Happy, and of course, my long shot is Tiz the Bomb. Straight exactas. If you just want to go straight, Mo Donegal is my selection over Zandon. White Abarrio with back-to-back wins. 4 for 5 lifetime, just the one loss at Churchill Downs, but he had a rough trip that day at Churchill Downs, and he lost to a good horse in Smile Happy. And then if you want just to have some fun, if you're only going to be betting one race on the day, if you just want a $60 exacta bet for $2, it's $60, and it'll give you a lot of action here. Box Mo Donegal, Zandon, White Abarrio, Smile Happy, Tiz the Bomb, and Epicenter. Go in it with a buddy. It's only $30 each. If you want to do it by yourself, it's just $30 to box those horses, and you get a lot of action for a $30 bet. $60 if you want to bet a $2 exacta box, or like I say, go in with somebody, have some fun, cheer on the Kentucky Derby. My second recommended exacta, remember I talked about this in another one of our previous shows, is I kind of like what I call the exact opposite strategy. This is where if I like a speed horse, I play closers in the exacta. If I like a closer to win the race, then I play a front runner to complete the exacta. So if you like a closer, like in this case, I like Mo Donegal, then I'm going to play him over front runners, Epicenter, Simplification, and White Abarrio. And then my other opposite strategy, if I like Epicenter to win, then I'm going to play him over some closers. He's the speed. Of course, he'll burn out the other speed is kind of the working theory. And then Mo Donegal, Zandon, and Smile Happy, straight exactas if you kind of like Epicenter as a speed. But this works with whoever you like as a speed horse or a closer. I call it the opposite strategy because a lot of times you don't really see two speeds run 1-2. You don't really see two closers run 1-2 unless you get kind of a pace meltdown. And so that is how I'm going to play some of the opposite strategy. And the other thing, here's some trifecta. If you really want to get a big trifecta action going with somebody, I would recommend Zandon and Mo Donegal as your top winners. Then play Zandon, Mo Donegal, Smile Happy, White Abarrio, Tiz the Bomb, and Epicenter second. And then third place, play Zandon, Mo Donegal, Smile Happy, Epicenter, White Abarrio, Tiz the Bomb, Messier, and Simplification. All of that is only like a $60 bet. So if you want to go in, have a chance to maybe get $500-600 for a score, again, trifecta, Zandon and Mo Donegal, and then play them straight over the group of horses in second, and then that group of horses in third. Gives you a chance to throw in a little bit of so it gives you a chance to win some money, yet kind of key a couple of horses for that second and third place position. So that's a look at some trifectas. Of course, superfectas on Derby Day is a $1 minimum. It gets very expensive to be playing superfectas on Derby Day. And overall, when you take a look at the points leaderboard, again, I want to stress, even though I kind of only threw out 4 horses on the win end, I think as you start to really handicap this race, one of the top 10 horses is most likely to win. They're coming off wins. They're in good form. The point system is kind of set up to reward horses that peak in late March and early April. They get the points needed. So Epicenter, He's got 3 wins in 4 races. Zandon's got a win in his most recent start. Wario Barrios won 4 out of 5. Mo Donegal, a win in the Wood Memorial. Tiz the Bomb has won 2 in a row. Cyberknife with back-to-back wins. He won an impressive Arkansas race. And then he also had a big win at the fairgrounds on the same day as the Risen Star. And Tabia, 2 for 2. So, Crown Pride won the UAE Derby. I'm not as high on him. I just think he's not fast enough. He's been working out. He came over here early, but I still think he's going to be a little bit of an underlay on the tote board. But yeah, I think your winner is going to come from the top 10 contenders on that Kentucky Derby leaderboard. And then also Kentucky Derby Day. Remember, don't let anybody talk you out of a long shot. Make sure to use some horses that can win you some money. Try to get position yourself, make one kind of wacky bet, a $10 double, a $10 exacta, a straight trifecta that can get you some money. People are going to have opinions, but as we saw yesterday, horses have the facts. Secret Oath came from off the pace for the coach, getting the job done. Also, I'm going to approach this day that there is no track bias. It's a long day. So if you do think speed is kind of winning early on by the Kentucky Derby, there's an hour and 20 minutes after the Woodford Reserve turf before the Kentucky Derby. They're going to manicure that track. They're going to grade it out. We're not going to have any rain really late in the afternoon. So that track's going to be perfect. It's pretty much going to be a normal race track. So don't kind of get influenced on your Derby wagers, what happens early, unless it's really an extreme bias. But remember, even if there's a bias, race 7, race 8, there's that hour and a half, and they just smooth out that track. They really get it fine-tuned up. And I just think most years we really don't have a biased racetrack. Assume no bias unless you see differently. And the track can play a little bit differently early on, first 2 races, early in the morning before it starts to warm up a little bit. But they're going to have that track perfect. Turf course, it rained yesterday. Again, that'll be a little bit of give to it. So I think we're going to get some nice turf races. I think Ivar will like it a little bit of give in that race. Ad Hama will like a little bit of give. And even Santine will probably appreciate a little bit of give in that Kentucky Derby. So again, my top selection in the Kentucky Derby is going to be Mo Donegal. I think Epicenter is going to run a good race. And also I think Tabia, take a look at horses. The 2 horses I think you want to look at if you want to kind of just watch them warm up and in the paddock with the big crowd. Remember, Tiz the Bomb. He got a little bit washy in the Holy Bull, didn't run his race. He gets worked up a little bit. It shouldn't be hot today, so I don't think that'll be a thing. And then Tabia has been known to be a little bit of high strung as well. So a big crowd shipping in. I think you're going to want to take a look at him. If you haven't bet yet, of course, in multi-races, your bets are already in, but take a look, see how Tabia looks. Messier is a type of horse. I've never really seen him have any issues leading up to the gate or in the post parade. Also another horse I think that's been very smooth throughout his career is Epicenter. Again, I'm leaning towards a little bit of a contested pace here. I'm not sure the fractions will be fast. We did see some faster fractions opening quarter in the Kentucky Oaks yesterday, 22 and change. So that set it up more for a closer. If we get 22 and change, it's probably going to be a closer in the race. If we get closer to 24, like a 23-4, 24, depends on how contested it is. But your speed horses that could contest this pace is going to be, a horse like Epicenter could possibly show some speed. And you also could have Summer is Tomorrow, Simplification, Messier. I think those are the horses most likely going to be up there. And you never know. I think off the pace, you're going to have Tiz the Bomb, Smile Happy. Zandon's going to come from mid-pack. And you've got Mo Donegal coming from maybe 12th, 13th place after a quarter mile. But I think he'll be in the top 8 or 9 by they get to that second turn, and that's where he needs to be. So overall, I think I saw $2.6 million on the Oaks Derby double. Yeah, I think I saw at one point it was $2.6 million. So there's a lot of money being bet in these cards. They're adding more bets. They keep on finding more ways to get money. Yes, Charles B says $3.2 million. So overall, I think that had to be a record handle on that Kentucky Oaks Derby double. There was a lot of money bet into that pool. So that's a look at overall the money out there. So give yourself a chance to win some of that money. And so yeah, there's some money in there. Of course, it pays $50 if Epicenter wins, 72 if Zandon wins, 60 some dollars if a horse like Tabia wins. So the Oaks Derby doubles, Epicenter was favored over Tabia and Messier, and then Zandon was the fourth favorite. So the odds won't change much today. You're probably going to see 9-2 on Epicenter, 5-1 on Tabia. Somebody may put a big bet on Tabia and make him the favorite late, but I think most of the day Epicenter. And then, of course, Zandon will probably come down maybe to 7-1. Epicenter going to be right there at 7-1, 9 or 10-1 on Mo Donegal. That's a look. Remember, enjoy the card. Assume no bias. I think there's going to be a little bit of a pressured, contested pace. We'll see how Epicenter and horses like Messier and even Tabia, where they can get position. Zozo stuck out in post position 19. And, of course, Mo Donegal at the rail, but just one starting gate for the Kentucky Derby. That's a look at your selection Saturday. Hope you enjoy the Derby day. We're going to have a recap of the Kentucky Derby tomorrow. Some more videos as we start to get you ready for the Preakness coming up in just 2 weeks. We'll see if we have any new shooters. Also, remember, support the channel, hit the like button, share button, and smash that thanks button. Hope you've enjoyed all these Kentucky Derby preview videos. So yeah, I think we're going to have a good Derby. It's going to be nice weather, and good luck everybody on your Derby bets. And we'll see you on the recap as we recap it all tomorrow on Sunday. It's been a great 2 weeks. Preakness up next, and then we get the Belmont, the Test of Champions for 2022. Samuel Quigley, do you fancy any horses? I like Jack Christopher. I think Jack Christopher is going to win. Also a double if you want to play Ivar and Santine into the Kentucky Derby winner. And Melly Lick says, good luck to everybody, Melly Kick, as you get ready for your Derby wagers for 2022. This guy says we're going to have a fast track. So that's what I'm thinking as well. Ellis says, good luck to everybody on Kentucky Derby Day 2022.